WNBA icon Sue Bird is now officially a Hall of Famer as part of the class of 2025, and she had some fun during her speech at the enshrinement ceremony. Bird played at the 2008 Olympics with the U.S. women's basketball team and spoke about LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh talking about teaming up at that time. "I remember that Olympics well," Bird said. "It was a great Olympics. Both teams hanging out, winning gold. I mean, it was kind of weird how LeBron, Chris, and Dwayne kept yapping about 3-year deals with a player option, and where do you want to take your talents? Where do you want to take your talents? I don't know. I tuned it out. I'm sure Mickey Arison could probably tell you guys about that later." 2 years after playing together for the men's team at the Beijing Olympics, James, Wade, and Bosh would team up on the Miami Heat in 2010. It was a decision that was actually years in the making. In 2006, James, Wade, and Bosh were all up for extensions with their teams and chose to sign 3-year contracts with an option for a 4th year. That meant they all could hit unrestricted free agency in 2010 and team up. Carmelo Anthony could have been part of this group, too, but he instead chose to sign a 5-year deal with the Denver Nuggets in 2006. Wade wanted to advise Anthony to take a 3-year deal, too, but he was a bit too late. By the time he reached out, the forward was already in the process of signing his extension. Anthony has spoken about that decision in the past. He didn't want to take a risk by accepting a shorter deal and prioritized financial security. Anthony would end up earning about $262 million in his career, but never won a championship. He almost certainly would have if he had gone along with this plan. Anthony revealed that James had always spoken about the 4 of them teaming up and added that the conversation got serious after 2006. They hadn't decided where they would be going, with teams like the New York Knicks and Chicago Bulls being viewed as potential landing spots. James, Wade, and Bosh ultimately decided to form a Big Three with the Heat in 2010, as Anthony looked on from a distance. They completely shifted the balance of power and became the dominant force in the NBA. The Heat made 4 straight trips to the NBA Finals from 2011 to 2014, winning it all in 2012 and 2013. James had famously stated when they teamed up in 2010 that they were aiming to win quite a few championships. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. When I say this, I really believe it. You wondered when the Heat would stop winning after their 2nd title, but that was it for that group. James was the one who broke up that trio by returning to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2014. Heat owner Mickey Arison hilariously brought up James' promise during his own Hall of Fame speech on Saturday. It would have been great to win more than 7 titles, but they had to make do with 2. 12:04 p.m. According to Jackson's source, the Heat have not made a contract offer to Kiowa due to their proximity to the luxury tax, but expressed a possible interest in doing so in the future. Jackson hears that Kiowa would welcome a return to Miami, noting that the Nigerian big man still has a home in the area. The Heat will remain in contact with Kiowa, who has received interest from several other teams, Jackson adds. 10:49 a.m. The Heat have been engaged in ongoing discussions with free agent forward/center Precious Kiowa, reports Ira Winderman of the South Florida Sun-Sentinel, subscription required. According to Winderman, Kiowa is one of multiple big men the team has been in touch with as it considers ways to upgrade its frontcourt rotation. As Winderman details, Bam Adebayo has expressed a desire not to play significant minutes at the 5, but Miami doesn't have many other established options in the middle, with second-year center Kel'el Ware and rookie two-way big man Vladislav Golden among the only alternatives. Nikola Jovic and Keshad Johnson are other frontcourt candidates for the Heat, but both are somewhat undersized for the center spot. Reports last month indicated that the Heat were considering free agent big men, including Kai Jones and Trey Lyles. Former Heat center Thomas Bryant also remains unsigned, Winderman notes, though the club's level of interest in him is unclear. While Miami currently has an open spot on its projected 15-man regular season roster, adding a 15th man on a minimum salary contract would push the team's salary over the luxury tax line. As a result, the front office has considered the idea of waiving Terry Rozier, Winderman writes. Buyout talks with Rozier haven't gained any traction, Winderman clarifies, but the guard's $26.64 million salary isn't quite fully guaranteed. Rozier's partial guarantee is worth $24.92 million, so waiving him would generate about $1.72 million in extra cap flexibility, which would give the Heat enough room below the tax line to replace him with a new 14th man. According to Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, Twitter links, the idea of cutting Rozier has been discussed a lot internally, but there are other pathways the Heat could take. Waiting until December, when a prorated veteran's minimum contract would fit under the tax line, is one possibility. Miami could also temporarily exceed the tax line by signing a 15th man now, then duck back below the tax by waiving Rozier on or before January 7th, since his partial guarantee won't increase at all by then. However, as Winderman points out, if Rozier were to suffer a season-ending injury, the Heat would be required to pay his full salary, which would mean they'd need to find another way to get out of tax territory. Kiowa, who will turn 26 later this month, began his career with the Heat as the number 20 overall pick in 2020. He was sent to the Raptors as part of the Kyle Lowry sign-in trade during the 2021 offseason and has spent the past season and a half with the Knicks after being traded from Toronto to New York along with OG Anunoby in December 2023. Kiowa is a bit undersized for a center and isn't a threat as an outside shooter, but he's an athletic, high-energy player who rebounds well and is a versatile, switchable defender. In 57 games in 2024-25, he averaged 6.6 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 1.0 assists in 20.5 minutes per contest, with a .502/.278/.590 shooting line. The Los Angeles Lakers believe they have a roster that can pose a threat in the Western Conference. They affirmed their commitment to Luka Doncic in the form of a $165 million contract extension, finally concluded their center search after signing DeAndre Ayton and added defensive spark plug Marcus Smart. While there are plenty of questions regarding LeBron James and the franchise beyond the 2025-26 campaign, LA has enjoyed a highly active summer. And perhaps there is still more big news to come. Clutch Point senior Lakers insider Anthony Irwin first reported at the end of June that Los Angeles and the Miami Heat were moving forward with trade talks revolving around wing Andrew Wiggins. CP senior NBA reporter Brett Siegel reiterated the Heat's willingness to entertain a possible Wiggins deal in August, causing speculation to rise even further. Now, NBA correspondent Mark Stein is also drawing attention to a potential transaction between the two teams. As I understand it, the Lakers' reluctance in the early stages of the offseason to consider trades for contracts that stretch beyond the 2025-26 season has thawed somewhat, he writes. I don't think that means they'll swing a deal for just anyone between now and the February 5th trade deadline, but league sources say LA would indeed have interest in adding a two-way swingman who can raise their ceiling. Would Wiggins give the Lakers a needed boost? Wiggins packs the supplemental scoring punch and defensive versatility that any squad with serious aspirations can use. He was a critical part of the Golden State Warriors' last championship run and brought energy to South Beach after getting shipped to the Heat in the Jimmy Butler trade. Acquiring the 30-year-old Canadian will be costly, will make $28.2 million this season, and has a $30.1 million player option for 2026-27. But LA is evidently more amenable to such a commitment than it was several months ago. I wouldn't have classified him as a potential purple and gold target before Doncic's long-term future was secured, but things are different now, Stein writes. So my sense is that the Lakers would have interest if the Heat, in coming weeks or months, decide to prioritize financial flexibility and look to reduce payroll. The 2022 All-Star averaged 18.0 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.6 assists in 60 games while shooting 44.8% from the field and 37.4% from three-point land last season. Opposing defenses will focus mainly on LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, which would theoretically give Andrew Wiggins favorable looks on offense. The rest of the league is chasing the Oklahoma City Thunder, but the Lakers could show just how dedicated they are to catching the reigning champions by acquiring this veteran difference-maker. Though, as Mark Stein notes, Miami is seemingly planning to start the new season with Wiggins on the roster. Los Angeles should stay alert regardless.